Beloved soul, step into the court of heaven, not as one trembling under accusation, but as one invited by the King of Glory himself. See the marble beneath your feet glowing with purity and truth, and pillars of living light stretching upward like eternal witnesses of righteousness. Angelic guardians stand in perfect stillness, eyes blazing with loyalty to the throne, ready to testify on behalf of every child who has been wronged, misunderstood, misjudged, or misrepresented. You are not here to plead for worthiness. You are here because heaven summoned you, because divine justice has been written into your destiny, and because every invisible battle you have endured in silence is now being brought into holy light. If this message resonated with your spirit, beloved, stand firm and declare in faith. Subscribe now and enter this sacred space where heaven's justice continues to be spoken over your life. For the Lord has seen every tear, every betrayal, every whisper of doubt cast against you, and now the Most High rises to defend you. This is not a moment of fear. It is a moment of heavenly vindication. Divine Judge declares favor in this sacred courtroom. The eternal Judge sits on his throne, robed in radiant authority that no human voice can challenge and no earthly system can override. His eyes search your soul, not to condemn, but to confirm what heaven already knows. You are chosen, protected, and cleared of every shadow that ever tried to cling to your name. Where earthly voices questioned you, heaven answers. Where people spoke carelessly about your heart, the Father speaks truth. Every false accusation, every lie, every unjust judgment that once hovered over you dissolves like mist in the brilliance of divine justice. And the Lord speaks, not in anger, but in unwavering certainty. This one is mine, and no tongue raised against them shall stand. For my justice is higher than human opinion, and my verdict is final. Like this video and anchor this verdict in the spiritual realm, for every act of agreement strengthens the divine judgment proclaimed in your favor. Heaven witnesses your innocence. Listen, beloved, as the courtroom fills with witnesses of heaven. Angels who saw your integrity when no one applauded, who watched you choose kindness when bitterness could have been easier, who recorded every moment you fought battles silently with grace instead of vengeance. They speak now, declaring your faithfulness, your endurance, your quiet obedience in seasons where you were tested not once, but repeatedly. They testify that you did not seek to harm even when harmed, that you did not curse your path even when misunderstood. The heavens now defend you not because you are perfect, but because you remained humble, and humility invites divine defense. Your name is lifted in purity, and every voice that attempted to stain your integrity is silenced under the authority of God's truth. Comment, "Justice is mine" by divine decree below, not as mere words, but as a declaration that heaven's ruling is sealed over your destiny. Unseen battles are settled. Beloved soul, many of your greatest battles were never fought in the eyes of people, but in the quiet hours of the Spirit, where anxiety wrestled with faith and hope clung to God's promises. And here, in the court of heaven, those unseen wars are acknowledged, honored, and rewarded. Every spiritual attack, every plot meant to break your confidence, every unseen enemy that tried to distort your destiny now stands powerless before the throne. Heaven issues a decree. The plans against you are canceled. The snares meant for you fall apart, and the forces that opposed you lose authority. Justice is not only a verdict, It is a divine sweeping that clears your path, resets your timeline, and restores what was delayed. You walk free, not simply relieved, but divinely reinstated into purpose and favor. Beloved Spirit, do not think for a moment that the silent wars you fought alone went unnoticed in heaven. There were seasons where you bled internally while smiling outwardly, where you carried burdens no one saw, where people misunderstood your silence while angels guarded your soul. Every hidden tear you wiped in the night. Every time you chose prayer instead of retaliation. Every moment you decided to respond with grace even when you were provoked was seen by the holy judge who presides over spiritual realms. Heaven witnessed the invisible warfare that tried to drain your strength, and now the divine gavel falls. The unseen battles you fought in faith are being settled in your favor, and the forces that wrestled your peace are being held accountable under divine law. Share this message with someone who needs to know that God is defending them in places they cannot see, and let their spirit rise with hope again. You endured emotional storms that others would not survive. Spiritual attacks that tried to break your confidence, delays that tested your endurance, and unfair situations that tried to stain your name, yet you refused to surrender your integrity. And heaven says today, enough. The Judge of Judges steps forward, robes of glory flowing, declaring closure over cycles of spiritual oppression, closing the mouths of unseen accusers, dissolving every dark attempt to hinder your progress. What was sent to undermine your destiny is now being turned into evidence of your strength. This is not just a victory. This is a holy legal judgment, a divine announcement that your spiritual enemies have overplayed their hand and must now withdraw by court decree, never to reclaim the space that belongs to you. There were battles you could not explain to anyone. Internal battles, energy battles, mental battles, battles in your spirit, battles in your sleep, and yet you stood. There were moments when confusion whispered lies, when exhaustion tried to break you, when opposition rose without cause, when doors closed suddenly without explanation, and still you chose the way of righteousness. Heaven honors that kind of faith. Now God sends angelic officers to enforce your peace, to secure your territory, to silence negative forces and spiritual interference. The warfare that drained you is ending. The invisible adversaries are being restrained, and peace is being legislated over your life like a royal command sealed by divine authority, irreversible and undeniable. Beloved, click the subscribe button and remain connected to this holy courtroom where truth prevails and spiritual freedom is continuously released. Stand tall now, favored soul, for you are stepping into a realm where spiritual clarity replaces confusion, where divine protection replaces spiritual tension, where inner safety replaces hidden struggle. You will feel a lifting in your spirit, a release in your mind, a quiet victory blooming in your heart. Not because you fought harder, but because heaven has fought for you. You will walk into rooms feeling shielded, speak with confidence knowing divine backing surrounds you. Dream with boldness knowing the realm of opposition has been neutralized by God Himself. The unseen battles are settled, spiritual warfare has concluded, and what rises in your life now is a season of clarity, breakthrough, and supernatural calm, blessed not by effort, but by divine verdict, righteous compensation and restoration. In this courtroom, God's justice does not stop at clearing your name. It brings restoration, repayment, and divine compensation. Where time was lost, it will be accelerated. Where opportunities slipped, better doors now open with grace. Where relationships fractured, heaven brings alignment and protection. The judge of all creation declares, "For every season of humiliation, I give elevation. For every moment you were overlooked, I now spotlight your calling." You are not leaving this holy place empty-handed. You leave with blessing, affirmation, spiritual honor, and heavenly authority. For justice in the kingdom is not merely fairness, it is divine upgrade, supernatural recompense, and the restoration of dignity. Turn on your notification bell so every time new divine revelation is released, your soul receives guidance and protection at the very moment you need it. In the court of the Most High, no seed of righteousness ever dies. Every tear you wiped quietly, every injustice you endured without losing your character, every time you forgave even when it hurt. These moments have been gathered like precious jewels and set before the throne. Now, the righteous judge stretches his hand and decrees that what seemed withheld was never lost. It is being multiplied, preserved, and prepared for divine release. For restoration is not merely replacement, it is increase, overflow, supernatural return beyond human measure. Heaven now moves in swift alignment on your behalf. For the God who sits above time declares that delay cannot deny you. The wages of your suffering, your endurance, and your truthfulness are being released in holy increments, waves of divine repayment moving towards you, unstoppable and sovereign. Every season where you walked through scarcity, confusion, or mockery because you chose integrity, heaven now rewards. You will witness a sacred reversal. Where they doubted you, they will now respect you. Where they dismissed you, they will witness your rising. Where you were overlooked, you will now be sought after. Divine compensation is not just restoration of what was lost. It is honor poured upon the faithful, a crown placed upon those who refused to compromise their soul. If you felt the weight lift from your spirit today, give this video a like and claim your victory in faith, aligning yourself with the final heavenly verdict. Child of light, hear this decree in your spirit. You will not come out of this season empty-handed. The God who restores does not return fragments. He returns fullness. He returns dignity, relationships, opportunities, finances, clarity, and inner strength. He restores reputation with grace and authority. He restores confidence with divine evidence. He restores joy with testimony. Every place that felt like defeat is becoming a platform of triumph. The years that seemed wasted are becoming years doubled in growth, doubled in provision, doubled in favor. What the enemy thought he buried, heaven has only planted. And what grows from this soil will astonish every watcher, every doubter, every adversary. Stand still now, beloved soul, and breathe in the promise of restitution. For the courtroom of heaven releases verdicts that earth cannot reverse. The God of recompense has risen on your behalf, not only to return what you lost, but to elevate you beyond what you imagined possible. You will see divine settlements, contracts that honor your worth, relationships that match your heart, doors that require your integrity, not your struggle, to open. You will taste a victory that does not feel like fighting, but like inheritance. You will step into blessings that feel not earned, but bestowed. because heaven remembers, heaven restores, heaven rewards. And the season you are entering will prove that righteousness is never wasted, patience is never ignored, and faithfulness is never forgotten in the kingdom of God. Write in the comments, "Heaven defends me," and let this platform become a living testimony of believers walking under divine protection and supernatural justice. Sealed by Isaiah 54:17. And now, beloved child of God, hear the decree echo through eternity. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned. Isaiah 54:17 becomes your covenant, your armor, your eternal legal covering. It seals you not just for this moment, but for every future challenge, reminding the unseen realms that you walk under divine jurisdiction. You exit this court not as someone pleading for mercy, but as someone stamped by heaven's authority, surrounded by angelic guardians, held by a verdict that cannot be appealed or reversed. Go forward in peace. The battle is judged, the case is closed, and your destiny stands protected. Heaven defends you, and justice now flows in your favor. Beloved soul, support this channel by subscribing and stay rooted in a space where every word spoken over you carries divine wisdom, encouragement, and spiritual authority. Speak aloud. Heaven defends me, and justice flows in my favor. Every hidden battle is already won. I walk covered, vindicated, and honored by God. Beloved soul, as you stand before the throne of the Almighty, may this sacred moment seal itself into your spirit like golden ink pressed upon parchment, marking you as one defended by heaven and shielded by divine decree. May the righteous judge, who sees all hidden motives and hears all silent cries, stretch his hand toward you now, removing every shadow that ever tried to cling to your story, dissolving every whisper of accusation that sought to dim your name, and closing every spiritual case that attempted to follow you beyond its time. May the courtroom of eternity echo with the sound of your vindication, and may peace, the kind that cannot be shaken by human judgment or earthly rumor, flow through your soul with gentle strength. Let every invisible force that once resisted your progress fall beneath the weight of God's ruling, and every unseen adversary retreat at the thunder of his verdict. Where shame once tried to speak, let honor rise. Where discouragement once lingered, let confidence be born again. Where you felt alone in your battles, may you now feel the presence of angelic witnesses who stand in agreement with heaven's decision over your life. Share this message on your story or with a friend, so another heart may feel seen, covered, and defended by the God who rules with fairness and love. I pray that the Lord now clothes you in garments of dignity and spiritual authority, garments that no hostility can tear and no jealousy can stain. May He restore to you every portion that was delayed, every blessing that was blocked, every opportunity that was postponed by misunderstanding, manipulation, or spiritual interference. Let the oil of justice flow over you, thick, warm, and unending, signaling that this chapter is not only closed, but redeemed. You leave this court not simply relieved of burden, but elevated into favor, protected by decree, and escorted into your next chapter by angels assigned to your destiny. And now, may your path shine brighter, not because the world suddenly understands you, but because heaven has already endorsed you. May your footsteps be guided by divine wisdom, your relationships filtered by God's shield, your reputation guarded by the breath of the Spirit, and your heart held steady by the knowledge that you are seen, known, and justified by the one whose word cannot be challenged. You walk forward not as the accused, but as the appointed, not as the misunderstood, but as the chosen, not as the wounded, but as the healed child of a sovereign King. If you are ready to walk in peace, restoration, and vindication, click like and choose to align your spirit with heaven's ruling today and every day. In the holy authority of the throne room, sealed by the blood of the Lamb, protected by angels on assignment, and carried by the breath of divine justice, I declare over you, it is finished, it is settled, it is written, and it is won. Subscribe now and remain planted in this holy sanctuary of truth, where each message strengthens your soul, aligns your path with God's will, and reminds you that you never stand alone in any battle. Amen.